Hello, beautiful people. I know you missed my voice. And now we're back
Mm.
for all 5 or 6 of you that watched this. Da-na-na-na. Anyways, thank you so much for coming back for another episode of Up the Gut because we don't know when to stop. Can't stop, won't stop, not going to stop. Before we get started tonight, I would like to thank our partnerships that we have going on here before we get into our Yell at Mel's and everything else that we're doing tonight. We have Nick D's Gaming Vault, Pat Riot's Piercing, and Comics and Collectibles R Us in the Steamtown Mall. They were generous enough to let us put our business cards in there. So please, if you're in the area, please go check them out. We also have Sports Fever in the Viewmont Mall. And then Classic Sports Cards in West Pittston, the card shop out in West Pittston. Please go give them a shout out if you can. Go check them out. If you're looking for something specific, obviously they do certain things. Definitely don't go to Pat Wright's Piercing if you're looking for a TV or going to get some cards. There are some other places that you can get cards on that list. So anyways, thank you guys so much for coming back. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please keep liking, sharing, subscribing. Don't forget to hit that share button. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're trying to reach out to more
If you
people.
don't like us, just do it.
Yeah, just if you don't like me, just tell me to go fuck myself. It's great. We're trying to reach out to more people. I'm finally getting settled in the house a little bit more day by day. It feels like I've been here forever, but it's not even been a month. Once I do, we're gonna try going on some Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that, because I'll have more time to actually do some stuff like that. So we're going to reach more people, annoy more people, and you can all hate us behind the scenes as much as you want. Anything before we get started here, Lopes?
No, again, thank you to all the partnerships that we do have. We are grateful for that. We're grateful for everybody that does watch, like, comment, share, hate from behind, keep us in the thoughts, because you know what? We are living rent free in people's heads.
I do. I wish I lived rent free. That'd be great.
Mm.
So we're gonna kick it off with a Yell at Mel. It's nothing crazy, nothing spectacular. Fuck Mel Kiper Jr. and fuck Dan Orlowski. They are both mine is just about the international games, and how there are way too fucking many of them, and the players don't like them. Now we're going to Australia. Players really don't fucking like that one.
Right?
And I read somewhere, and I thought it was a great idea, and I was like, why don't they do this? There's so many parts of America that are rural and they don't have a team where they have to travel to really go see someone, or hopefully their favorite team is the closest and they get to go see them, or they play someone close to them. Why not take the NFL to those rural areas in America, and let somebody out there go watch a football game? Because like they're stuck. They're stuck, like North Dakota, South Dakota, the whole thing. That like Midwest area is like you're kind of screwed. It's either you're a Broncos fan and hopefully you're close enough to see the Broncos, or like you're just flying out and driving hours and hours to even go see someone. So take someone out there. Like you have to have a stadium big enough. There's no way in hell you don't have a stadium big enough to do whatever you just want to do. I get you want to bring the international fans, bring them in, go across the world, everything like that. They know what's going on. That's great. Awesome. But also, don't forget about your American fans. I mean, there's some people out there that might not even be interested in football because they're like, there's no point. Like, I'll watch it on TV, or I'll spend $1,000 to be able to watch every game because we're getting too crazy on these subscriptions and this whole fucking thing. You should bring it to the people in America. Bring it to the rural areas. Bring it out to people where there's no football team. There's not one close. There's the whole state is just vacant from a football team. You should bring it out there. Let those people go see it rather than taking guys to Australia or Brazil or some crap like that. These players, I don't think, would give a shit. Oh, we're going out to fucking Idaho or North Dakota to go play a game. They're like, whatever, I'm in America. I really don't give a shit. Fuck it. Neutral game site. Here we go. It's kind of like college football. They do a neutral game site. Here we go. They're doing a game. I think they should do more of that rather than all of this international stuff. I get it. I understand why. But the people who make you money and are the reason why people are going to the games absolutely fucking do not like going these long spurts, especially now we're going to Australia, which is just crazier in itself. And then you don't get the best performance out of these guys when you're doing that too. So usually you're just sending like the Jets or Jaguars to play over in London. And that was always a shit show. I'm surprised they still show up at games over there. But I'm not a huge fan of them. It also screws over the people in America because you have to wake up at 8 a.m. to watch a fucking game on a Sunday. It was nice. It's nice. You could do what you want, sleep in on a Sunday, watch the games from 1 until fucking midnight. Now you got to be up from fucking 8 a.m. until midnight if you want to watch every fucking game on Sunday through the entire. It's stupid. It's stupid. I'm not a huge fan of it. And now opening kickoff night is on Wednesday. I fucking retarded. I don't care if people don't like that word. It's fucking retarded. Just keep it. We just put Thursdays. Now we're on Wednesdays. Stop. Just fucking stop.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, fuck Mel Kiper Jr.
Well, I mean, you didn't even bring up the part where, these dudes get injured. How many games do we watch where, yeah, it's low scoring, yeah, there's a lot of punts, the time difference is really fucking with dudes. But the injuries that happened, Packers lost Jordan Love to an injury for weeks because he slipped on their fucking turf. Like, it's nonsense. More people have attended a football game in Germany than they have in Idaho for an NFL game, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of the American way. We send foreign aid to other countries while our U.S. military veterans are homeless.
Stop getting political. We're not getting political here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
true. I'm sorry.
What are we doing?
I reel that back in.
Reel it back in. Reel it back in.
My bad.
Just because
that's my bad.
We don't like certain things, Lopes. We're gonna keep this sports, okay? We can make a political podcast on another one and have people hate us for all other reasons. But for this, they need to hate us for our sports takes, okay?
That's true. I do apologize.
Wrong,
nobody.
But I'm saying let's just reel that one in there.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn.
Well, my yell at Mel. What? Yeah, my yell at Mel is not very long. It's kind of just kind of pointing out something that Malik Neighbors was on some podcast TV show watching the draft, got like physically and visibly upset, and I wouldn't say scared, but he was definitely complaining that the Cowboys now had Caleb Downs. Doesn't want to play against them. Now all of a sudden, he goes ahead and has some cleanup surgery for some scar tissue on his knee. Now he is potentially out for week 1. Remind me, Mr. Higgins, who do the Giants open up with in week 2?
They open up with a loss to the Cowboys on week 1.
There it is. Yes.
In New York. So that's going to be
in New York
the season.
Okay. I'm not saying he's ducking. I'm just pointing out facts. But yes, as always, fuck Mel Kiper, his lapdog field days, and Dan Orlovsky, their retarded duck.
And that's the only way to end it and start the yell at Mel. Fuck Mel Kiper. All right, so we are going to do the NFL North today?
NFL North
today. All right. And we are back with Lopes' Rain Man system. So he will be taking the reins. Rain Man himself taking the reins. Please kick us off with our first team, the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. So before I get to the Lions, I need to make one little thing. Thankfully, this happened right after. No, you're going to like this. This happened right before we started getting into the nitty-gritty, like half the league. The Vikings just signed Juwan Jennings. That was one of their big needs for them. So now they filled that. They get more points. They got enough points to push them over the edge. So now the Eagles are dead last in the NFC and 31st in the entire league for offseason rankings for me. That was the only change because we didn't get to too many.
That's saying a lot. Anyways.
Yes, sir. All right, now.
Here we go. Rain Man himself. Here we go.
Detroit Lions. Here we are. They had an average of 3.75.
Wow. Okay.
Good. Yep. Good for first in the North, NFC North, obviously. They are also first in the NFC. I like theirs the best. And they are number 2 team in the NFL.
Okay.
All right. So with everything that they lost, they lost some D-line. They lost Dan Skipper on the O-line. They lost David Montgomery. Alex Anzalone left. Taylor Decker retired. They had some holes to fill. They signed Pacheco, so as long as he's not the guy that they have to rely on, he can fill a void. Larry Bourne, Juice Scruggs, Rockison, as long as those guys are not being counted on to be superstars, I think that they'll be able to fill roles. So that's good. As far as the draft is concerned, they went and got a bunch of ankle biters, a bunch of kneecap breakers. Blake Miller, yeah, he's an offensive tackle, mostly a right guard. I'm sorry, right tackle. Some people had him as the number two behind Maui Noah, but most of the people had him at least top three. He fits perfectly on the right side. That's gonna kick over Panay Sewell, who was a natural left tackle. So now you literally just filled in your Taylor Decker void with a guy that's already been there and dominant, and you just insert Blake Miller and you just keep going for it. I'm not saying Blake Miller is Panay Sewell. I'm saying he's a above average replacement. I gave this 5 stars, not just because of the player, but because of what it does for the line. Five. Derek Moore. Unfortunately, he did go to Ishington, but nobody's perfect. I thought he was a little drafted going in the second round. Not gonna lie. But with him and Aiden Hutchinson on the other side, he's not going to be able to get double teamed or chipped every play. So I think that him one on one is going to win the battles and not. Jimmy Rolder, another Michigan dude. He's hard nosed. He runs downhill. He doesn't care. If you're in the way, he's gonna knock you over. Trust me, I watched him do it to Ohio State a bunch of times. I can't stand the guy, but he's going to be fine filling that Anzalone role. Keith Abney in the corner. He's definitely depth. He's 3 stars. By the way, Jimmy Rolder was a 4 star. Kendrick Law, wide receiver out of Kentucky. He's just another depth piece. Skylar Gill Howard, defensive tackle from Texas Tech. 6th round pick. He's definitely somebody that they're going to put in on special teams, and he's going to be they're like one of their goal line dudes. He is just an absolute animal. Just he's a big dude. He's kind of like he's that guy that's just going to go out there. He's going to eat up some blockers. He's going to go back to the bench and get a huge squirt of water and some oxygen because he's a big dude. And then Tyree West, defensive end out of Tennessee. He's definitely he's the back end of the roster. He's going to be a special teams guy. But I mean, 7th round. What else? What else do you want? Uh, all in all, what they've done so far, obviously, I love what they've done. They're the second best team or second best offseason that I had ranked. I think this puts them firmly in control of the North.
Uh, I mean, they didn't really do much in the offseason because they didn't really have to.
Mm-hmm.
So they essentially have the same team as they did last year, really just minus Decker, who they replaced with Blake Miller or Subal, whichever one you want to say replaced
Right.
who. I mean, they didn't really have to do anything. And
Right. So I guess I rank them as high because you see a lot of these teams that don't have to do stuff. Like they're a talented team, so they lose a piece here and there, and they think they can just make it up in the aggregate. But no, they went out and they got impactful pieces, especially in the draft, to try not only just get them to stay at the same level, but take them to the next level.
I don't know. I mean, like for me, the only super key piece that they got was Miller. And then other than that, it's a rotation or fill in a spot guys for me. So I mean like I wouldn't for me personally, I wouldn't rate the draft
Yeah.
that high. The Blake Miller pick for me was great. He was my number 3 tackle. So they got him at 17, which I thought Proctor would go there. But he went a lot higher, obviously. Derek Moore, whatever. I really care. Rolder might end up taking over for Jack Campbell at some point because they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. They're letting Jack Campbell walk if he plays the whole season, or they trade him if they're having a down year, probably, and at least get something in return from him. So maybe that's their plan there. But I mean, other than that, man, I'm not superly impressed. But I don't. Again, they already had everything. They didn't have to go out and
Mm-hmm.
get anything because they still have all the receivers with St. Brown, Williams, and then Tesla's going to end up taking over that 3rd spot. And then you still have Laporta. I think maybe an interior offensive lineman would have been nice. I'm not sure how I feel about Mays at center, or Mahogany. I don't know. I'm not too thrilled about them. Or maybe an interior defensive lineman to pair along with Hutchinson. You know, they have McNeil and Windsor Moore. I can't even say the other guy's name.
They still have Tyreek Williams if they spent a high draft pick on
Yeah. So I
on the
mean, I don't
interior.
know. I just, and I know Tyrion Arnold has been having some problems, so maybe get a better corner than Keith Abney. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not hating it, but I'm not like, wow, this is my top
Mm-hmm.
draft or offseason, because it's essentially the same team, with just like replacing a tackle. That's about it. I mean, Gibbs is your number one. Pacheco's gonna be lucky if he sees the field at all. We saw that with Montgomery, and that's why Montgomery's gone, because he's like, I don't want to fucking be here. Um, excuse me. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, what are you doing? So we'll see what happens with that. All right. So we're going to the next one. After Rain Man here himself had the Lions up so high.
Very high.
You got the
Is he
Packers up
still
now.
high?
You got the Fudge
Yes.
Packers.
I got the Green Bay Fudge Packers. 3.28 on average. That's good enough for second in the North, ninth in the conference, and 19th in the league.
Okay.
So they lost some peoples, but it's kind of like they lost peoples, but those peoples didn't really matter all that much. It's kind of like if you're throwing a party and your second cousins decide to leave anyway. Like, oh, hey, yeah, okay, well, see ya. My sister, my brother, my mom are still here, so great. Um, they did lose Malik Willis, Romeo Dobbs, Elgin Jenkins, Quay Walker, Rashawn Gary, Rasheed Walker. They didn't really do anything in the offseason except fleece the Colts, traded Corey Wooten for Zaire Franklin. I understand Zaire Franklin doesn't really play the pass very well, but if they're not looking for him to play the pass, then that's great.
Yeah.
They didn't have a first round pick. So I think they gave it to some team in Texas. I can't remember. Um,
And they wasted it.
mm, uh, so their second round pick, they got a future starter in corner Brandon Cece. He might just start in the rotation, but he'll eventually work his way in. And I think that's more of a reflection on what the Packers have in the lack of depth in the secondary than more of him. Might be a trial by fire, to be honest with you. Chris McClellan, defensive tackle out of Missouri in the third. He's a future one tech for them. He's 6'4", 313. He's definitely a guy that's going to be in rotation. Those were their 4 stars. Um, I almost gave this guy a 4 star, and I'm gonna let you get into him more because you were a fan of his team. I was always a fan of Danny Dennis Sutton. I thought that he was underrated. I thought he was undervalued. The issue with him was he was like a Micah Parsons light. He did a lot of things and he did a lot of things good, but he just wasn't the freak athlete that Parsons was. And I guess I don't think that's fair to him. So before I go with the other three, shed some light on that for us.
I mean, every time you bring up a fucking Penn State guy, I'm gonna bring it back to this. He was a first round talent, and then they had a horrible fucking year. And ever
Mm-hmm.
since they had that horrible year last year, all these guys fell so far in the draft. Um, I feel like with how bad they lost and how crushing it was to be like, oh fuck, we lost 2-3 games now. We're not going to be in the playoffs. We're not going to be doing this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's so soul crushing to a team that your hopes and high and everything up here, and now you're all the way down here. I feel like it killed a lot of these guys' performances. I don't think that will affect them in the NFL wise because it's a longer career. You have a lot of time to win games. You're not so dependent on, oh, I lost 2 games, I'm out of it. Like, oh, I don't have a chance. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can lose 7-8 games. You could be you could be 1 game above 500 and still make the fucking playoffs. We saw the Carolina Panthers do it last year, and they almost won that first game. So I don't think that's going to knock these guys, especially the defenders, as much as it did last year because I didn't see anything wrong with Danny Dennis' son other than I feel like his morale was just so low and that whole defense under Jim Knowles was absolutely horrible because they're just trying to do too much. He's trying to install too much in 1 year, and I feel like a lot of terminology in these guys were just lost on them, and some of the play calling wasn't great. But the year before he was a top first round, second round talent for me, and he falls all the way to the fourth round. But like I said, that happened with a lot of guys. That happened with Drew Aller. That happened with Zane Durant. Now Danny Dennis' son. That happened with Wheatley, who I think went in like the fifth round or something. These were all top guys. They had a very bad year. Coaching, yeah. Also, fuck James Franklin. Coaching wasn't great. Fuck James Franklin. It didn't help. I think he is definitely going to rotate in a lot, maybe just on pass rushing downs. I think year 2 or 3, you see him kind of take over that opposite side of Micah Parsons. I see the potential in that, especially working alongside Micah Parsons, 2 Penn State guys. They've been together before, or they were like 2-3 years ago. I think he was there when he was a freshman or something like that. So I think it's a great pick. Like I said, I had like a first or second round grade on the past year. I put a third round grade on him this year, just because of stats and everything like that. And who was out and who was in. But I think it's a great pick in the fourth round, especially the end of the fourth round.
So as far as the rest of their stuff is concerned, Sutton got a 3-star just because I think, like you said, I think he'll be a rotational guy to start with. Once he's around those other pass rushers, maybe learn some moves and maybe
he
refine some things.
Actually went around and he learned every reporter's name before he did an interview.
And that's fantastic. I mean, I hate Penn State. I wish that James Franklin put us on a lifetime contract there. I loved him. But in reality, when you have a season like Penn State had, it's easy for dudes to all of a sudden pop up with injuries or take their names out of the lineup as preparing for the next level. Vega Ione, Danny Dennis Sutton, they didn't do that. They just kept playing. Oh, there's your unemployed child.
she's hiding in the butthole closet.
Okay, well we're having a wicked thunderstorm right now, so I'm sure it's headed your way. But when you had a fifth round Jager Burton center out of Texas or Kentucky, I can even talk right now.
Yeah, Kentucky.
He plays both center and guard, so that's definitely going to add some depth for a team that lost a little bit of it. Damani Jackson, he's going to be depth in this special teams piece. And I am never a fan of drafting kicker or punter. The Packers just released their veteran punter. I think it's McManus. So this kid's going to be the starter. Trey Smack out of Florida. So he got a 2-star just because he's a kicker. But all in all, like it's a normal Packer draft. They drafted okay. They're going to be okay, and they're going to be they'll win some games, they'll lose some games. It's going to be another Packer year.
Yeah, they're really hoping that Trey Smack smacks the ball through the goalpost. Yeah, you got McManus fired. Overall, I mean, like they really hit defense hard. They kind of did the Cowboys way of doing it. They really hit defense, and then they got one offensive guy, and then a kicker. So whatever that is. I don't hate the draft. I think it was a pretty good one, especially not having a first round pick. They got some good talent. I thought since out of South Carolina, I think he was a top end second round. They got him towards the bottom, that middle, and then like I said, Danny Dennis' son, I had a third round grade on him. I didn't really look too much into McMillan or Burton. Dominique Jackson, I like him for the upside. He's already got the speed. He's been playing in the SEC. Sixth, maybe right, maybe fifth, maybe bottom of the fifth type deal. They kind of got him kind of where he's laying just for the way it ended up shaping out. I'm pretty sure the year before he was one of the top corners they had coming out. If he came out the year before, was able to. He's looking like a third round or something, but just type of year it was and everything. I feel they may get something out of him, especially with the corners that they have. There are chances that he might be able to get some playing time, make that sixth round matter. And with his athleticism, he might be able to make a count. So they might have got a little something there. And then who cares about the fucking kicker? Whatever. If he works, he works. And in all reality, unless there's somebody like Brandon Little or Brandon Aubrey or Cam Little or something like that, or vintage Justin Tucker before the tuggings, you're not really gonna last more than like 2-3 years. You're out of a job about that third, fourth year. You're about out of a job because they don't want to pay you, and they're just like, fuck it, we'll get another guy to kick a fucking field goal. If you're not booting fucking 60 to 65 yarders consistently and making them basically down to dead middle with like yards to spare, you're not going to keep your job as a kicker. It's an ever revolving door, and then they'll bring in a veteran. He'll take the job for a year, and they'll try another guy. If he sucks, they'll bring in another veteran. That's just how it goes with kickers. It's not luxurious. Punters, they're pretty secure. They're like, hey, I boot ball far. They're like, cool, whatever, fuck it.
Do you remember Rodrigo Blankenship?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Colts drafted him because he had this huge leg and he was so deadly accurate.
It was fucking binoculars, so he had to be able to fucking see.
Yeah. He had everything zooming in, showing him the wind gauge and all that. He didn't last more than 4 years.
You struggle 1 year, your job's on the fucking line.
It.
You struggle 1 year, your job's on the line as a kicker. You have to be consistent, and like even if you're consistently making them within like the 40 to 50 yard range, your job is still in jeopardy because if you're not consistently making them 55 plus now, you're not keeping it. I had to close the door. So, anyways, we're on to your number 3 team, the Bears.
Bears. All right. So, they did an average of 3.25, good enough for third in the NFC North. They are 10th in the conference, 22nd overall. There's a couple picks in the third round that really derailed what they did in the draft.
All right, you go ahead and take it away.
So they lost DJ Moore, Drew Dahlman, Tremaine Edmonds, Kevin Byard, Juan Brisker, amongst other names. But those are the big ones. They did sign Casey Keenum, Braxton Jones, Garrett Bradbury, Noah Gallimore, Devin Bush, and Kobe Bryant. Not the GOAT, but the other Kobe Bryant. Kobe. They took one of your favorite people of all time. You never met the dude.
Fucking steal.
Your adoptive child.
Fucking steal,
safety, Dylan Cinnamon. He was the second best safety in the draft. He's an instant starter for them. He's going to change their secondary. He's not quite Caleb Downs, but he's going to be amazing for them. He got 5 stars. Logan Jones, center out of Iowa. He's going to be their center of the future. He's going to anchor that O-line for 10 plus years. They drafted him. I don't know where they're going to put him this year because honestly, they have Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson at guard. They just signed Bradbury. So they're not going to have Bradbury sit the bench while this kid gets to play. So I feel like he's going to be that rotational guy or depth piece for this year, learn off of Bradbury. They'll end up cutting Bradbury, insert Logan Jones, and you're good. He got 4 stars. Now, here's where it starts to get a little hairy for me. I could not stand their third round. I don't know if GM got a case of the shits and was in the bathroom on the other side of the building without his phone, that somebody else had to be making these fucking picks. Sam Roush. Why? Tight end out of Stanford. I mean, he wasn't even the best tight end on the board for me, and you took him. He's going to be a third tight end. How much fucking playing time is he going to get behind Colson Loveland and Cole Kmet? And you still have those receivers that you're going to be splitting out, and you love to go 2 backs and throw to the backs. How much playing time is this guy going to get? If you took him in the 5th, 6th round, okay, I'll give you 3 stars, fine, whatever. You took this dude in the 3rd round. That's day 2. Like, what are you doing? I don't get that. Xavion Thomas, wide receiver out of LSU. I thought he was way overdrafted. I don't think he fits anything that they do as far as what they have in that wide receiver room, unless they just drafted this guy to be their kick returner. Even at that, you draft your future kick returner in round 3, unless he's Devin fucking Hester. No. No, how much playing time is this guy really going to fucking get, other than being a kick returner or maybe a gunner on punt? I don't get it. I gave them both 2 stars. If they were drafted later, I can make the argument for 3. Where they were drafted, 2. Everybody else that they drafted got 3 stars. Malik Muhammad, corner out of Texas, is definitely a special teams guy. Kayshawn Elliott, linebacker at Arizona State, another special teams guy. And then Jordan Vanderberg, a defensive tackle at Georgia Tech. He's got a little motor in him, but he's not overly strong. He's not overly quick. He doesn't have a wide array. I understand it's round 6, but the Bears are a little thin up the middle, and he was really their only depth piece taken there, as far as youth is concerned. So, all in all, the Bears will still be a talented team. I think they'll challenge for the division. I think they took a step backwards.
I don't hate their draft as much as you do. I can tell you that much. I think I like it more than the Lions draft. Maybe. No, I like it more than the Packers draft. It's one of them.
Okay, yeah.
It's one of them. I definitely like it more than you do. The one that does kick me in the ass is the Roche one. Unless they trade Cole Kmet, it's not making any sense. Just because, like, why are we taking a third tight end? Like, you got Loveland. You know, is he gonna have a back seat? I don't know, like his 2nd-year slump or whatever. But he's definitely your starter now. Komet's gonna rotate in. So it's either you release Komet or you trade Komet, and then Roche takes that second spot. You know, whatever the hell you're gonna do. Obviously, Thin Mint was one of my favorite guys. I wish the Cowboys took him at fucking 12. If they kept 12, and then they get Downs, take him at fucking 12. I want him to take it at 20. Just get 2 safeties. Just fucking stop. Just have good safeties. Just have good fucking safeties that could take away the whole fucking field. No matter who's back there, they could take away a fucking third to half the field. That would be fucking great. You can never go wrong with taking an Iowa offensive lineman with Logan Jones. I mean, you can never go wrong with an eye right now. The Xavier Thomas, I think the plan, kick returner or whatever like that too, but he runs a 4.28. They don't have anyone that runs a 4.28 in that room. And we want fucking Khalil Raymond to fucking be your third guy or whatever the hell you want. I don't want that. I'd rather have a guy who runs a 4.28. So take the top off of defense, so then you can have Burden or Rome work that intermediate to low underneath to make defenses scared. Because right now, I'm not scared of any of these fucking receivers taking the top off. I could backpedal the whole fucking way if I wanted to cover Rome or Burden or whatever and still react. At least with Thomas, he's gonna make you swing your hips because you're like, all right, I gotta keep up with the speed. So you might see some plays. He might get some Jamison Williams from when they had him in Detroit. They finally got a speed guy that could take the top off of defense. So he might actually end up with some bigger games just because of his speed. That's the only reason why he was drafted in the 3rd round was speed. It's not for the production or whatever. It was just he's fast. And he's on the board. He's from LSU. He's an LSU wide receiver. He's fast. Take him. Fucking take him. And then Malik Muhammad, honestly, I could see him taking Stevenson's spot. I think they're done with Tyreek Stevenson. He's been rotating out. He wasn't even the starter last year. Wright was the starter, and now Stevenson's only the starter because Wright's gone. They didn't re-sign Wright. He's with the Jets on another 1-year prove-it deal because they're like, well, it's just a fluke, which it might have been. But he's 6'4". He didn't catch on with the Cowboys. He was ass with the Cowboys. He was complete ass. They gave him multiple opportunities. He was horrible. He was getting burnt all the time. Now, was a defense coordinator? Maybe, because it worked with the Bears, but he might fall into that trap where, like, you had a good year. Should have just signed another year with the fucking Bears, honestly, and then raked it in right after that. But he might take Stevenson's job, if I'm being completely honest. I think his antics and stuff, and then losing the game against Washington like 2 years ago, while he's going to the fucking crowd and shit. He's been having to earn the trust back. And Malik Muhammad, I had a 3rd round grade on him. I would have taken him over Thomas, if I'm being completely honest. Probably gonna swap those, and it would have made more sense to me. But then Elliott's just depth, and then Berg is just depth. But I don't hate it. There was a lot of potential there in those first 4 rounds, except for Roche, unless they trade Komet for them to actually make sense. Especially with Dooney's getting older. Bradbury's not the youngest. So I don't see a problem with, even if he doesn't start this year or play that much, Logan Jones, get him acclimated, and then boom, you have your starter for next year, their guard or center, and see what happens. So, all right. And then our losers of the NFC North, the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, yeah, Skull. Skull's in last place right now. Like I said, them signing Juwan Jennings, that really kind of saved them from being at the almost the very bottom of my offseason rankings. They averaged 3.2, fourth in the division, 13th in the conference, and 26th overall.
Oh wow, that really bumped them up
Right?
getting that Jennings one.
It really did. Um, so it's they're so frustrating. They really are just frustrating with everything that they didn't. They're another team. They lost Brian Kelly. They lost Von Hargrave. Harrison Smith's gonna hurt. Jonathan Allen, Jalen Naylor, I guess,
Well,
hurts a little
they
bit,
can
but
they could sign Harrison Smith back at any point if they really want to. I haven't seen him getting
they
much
can. Yeah,
traction. I haven't seen
yeah.
too much.
As of this recording, they have not. So you're completely right. He may come a week or two prior to camp opening up, and he says, "Hey, I want to give it one more year." They say, "Okay, 1 year, $2 million. Here you go,"
Yeah, because like I
and he's
haven't I
back.
haven't really heard much about anyone bringing him in for visits or really much anything like that.
Right.
So I think it's either Vikings or retire.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which the Vikings would be smart. They'd bring him back in if they get a good deal on him and be
Yeah.
like, just complete
Mm-hmm.
your last year here. Let's see what we got going on. Or maybe he'll
Especially
pull an
since they're
Eric Weddle and
starting.
wait till halfway through the season and be like, you guys are doing well. You guys need another safety. And they're like, yes. Yes, we fucking need a safety.
Yeah,
Fucking please, for the love of God.
yeah. Jay Ward and Josh Metellus are their fucking starting safeties. So
I mean, he might also
let's
wait
get.
to see and try to get on with a Super Bowl contending team, especially being the
Mm,
last year, and be like, I want to win a fucking Super Bowl. I'm tired of wasting my time here. I've wasted my entire time in Minnesota. We just keep fucking everything up. I just want to win a Super Bowl. So,
yeah. Well, let's get into what they picked up in the draft. Caleb Banks, first round pick, D tackle out of Florida. I understand it was a position of need, but are you fucking serious right now? You drafted a dude in the first round that played 3 total games in 2025. He has chronic foot injuries. And take it from somebody who has foot problems and is a bigger person, that shit doesn't go away with age.
well, maybe it's the shoe
Uh,
size, like it was with JSN. They give him the right shoes. Maybe his foot will be okay. Well, that was his hammy, but either way, maybe the shoes were the
yeah,
problem.
I mean, I guess. Maybe if he goes shoeless, maybe that'll help. I have no idea.
He's already six
But here's,
six for Christ's sakes. You want to make him 6'8"?
yeah, he's
The
six
fuck?
six, 327 pounds, and right now they're projecting him at defensive end. He played interior at Florida. He's
They
not
run a
overly
they
quick.
run a 3-4. So essentially, he's it for me. When you
Yeah,
run a 3-4, your ends are just D tackles. You have 3 D tackles on the fucking field. I don't see either one of those ends fucking really making a case.
yeah.
For me, a 3-4 is you run 3 defensive tackles at that point. That's essentially what you're doing to try to eat up space so your linebackers can make the plays. So like the ends don't even mean anything to me. They're just there to eat up space.
So let me read you their projected lineup. Caleb Banks, Levi Drake Rodriguez, and Jalen Redwand.
I would rather put their 3rd round pick Dominic Orange in there and just run 2 fucking rookies in there
Mm-hmm.
at that point.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah. So combined with where he was drafted, his chronic injuries, the fact that he's only played 3 games in the past year, I gave this a 3 star. I just didn't understand it. What, you hear some thunder?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. No, we're having tons of lightning, tons of wind, tons of thunder here, so it's definitely headed your way.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a long one, so I thought something was falling or like a
mm.
truck was going by or something. I was like, oh shit.
Their second round pick, Jake Galladay, he's definitely going to be one of their linebackers in the future. I don't know who exactly he's going to replace because he's long, he's lengthy. He had 105 tackles in 2025 for Cincinnati. As of right now, he'll be a rotational guy. Who knows? Maybe he'll put his hand in the dirt and be able to rush the passer at a certain point.
Mm.
You've already mentioned Dominique Orange, big centricity tackle out of Iowa State, 6'2", 322. He's a pure nose tackle. Pure.
That's where I'd play him.
He's
That's
gonna,
where I'd play him.
yeah,
Yeah.
he would be out there on first and second down,
Which would make sense to
goal
put
line.
Banks at an end then if you put him in a D tackle
Hmm.
for me. You might as well just play these young guys and just fucking see what
Yeah,
you can get at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing the position for Banks. I'm bashing the position for Banks because of his injuries. He's supposed to be setting the edge. He's supposed to be
Yeah,
a
I mean,
speed guy.
if they
You know what
wanted
I
a
mean?
big 6'6" guy, they could have just got Kendrick Falk at that point, and he would have been more athletic.
100%.
So
Yeah, exactly.
they're both 6'6", but
Um,
Kendrick Falk would have been able to do more. But if you run in a
like,
3-4 and you
yeah,
just want a guy to eat up space who's 6'6", then yeah, I guess Banks is your guy if he stays healthy. So
which is a big question. Then third round, they had Caleb Tiernan, offensive tackle out of Northwestern. He's a swing tackle depth piece. They do have O'Neal and Darisaw still. Jacoby Thomas, safety out of Miami. I think he'll end up being a starter in a year. Um, I mean, looking at who they have now, he could probably push for playing time this year, but he'll be a
yeah,
starter in a year.
yeah,
Here's a 2-star pick, Max Bredesen, tight end out of Michigan.
they needed him.
He has 12 career receptions. Career, okay.
I mean,
Is he?
I think they're actually moving him to fullback. They're not putting him at tight end.
Thank you, sir.
They're moving him to
Thank you, sir.
fullback.
If you could see my card here, my note, it says, is he a fullback or is he a tight end? Because guess what? You either drafted a 6'2" tight end that doesn't catch the ball, or you drafted a fucking fullback in the 5th round.
Yeah, speaking of
Either
tight end to
way, you're
fullback,
getting
we'll
two
get into that with the
stars.
Steelers with the tight end they drafted too. So
Oh god, that's for another episode. I just
that's coming
no,
up.
that's for
That's coming up.
that's right. It is the North.
Yeah,
Oh man,
the
we're
Kings of
gonna
the
have both
North.
tight ends. Oh, not definitely not Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Turley Demings, the corner out of SF Austin. I think that's a sneaky good pick. That's actually one of the picks I really, really liked by them.
yeah.
Just because he went to SF Austin, they're like, eh, he'll be a starter eventually. Desmond Claiborne, running back at a Wake Forest, kick and punt return to start. I'm sure he'll end up replacing somebody like some old ass running back. Um, Potentially Aaron Jones, who knows? And then Gavin Gerhardt, center out of Cincinnati. He's definitely a depth piece. He plays all three interior. I wouldn't doubt if he's out of the league before he qualifies for contention.
Yeah, I really like some of their picks. I don't not a huge fan of some of their picks. Like the Caleb Banks one, if you're looking for a range, you gotta eat up space. You had Kendrick Falk, who's also 6'6", who played a lot more games.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking just for a big beefy guy to set an edge and make sure that nobody can run outside of you, then yeah, you get the 6'6", you get the size. As long as he stays healthy, maybe the pick makes sense. I was seeing him kind of going towards the end of the first round, top of the second, just for his size and what he brings. Jake Galday, I see him end up taking a starting spot, at least by the end of the year, when you got Eric Wilson and then Blake Cashman as your two starters, essentially. You got Ivan Pace there as well. But I think with what Galday brings, I think he ends up taking that. Maybe not the green dot this year, but green dot next year. I foresee that. Dominic Orange, big defensive tackle, nose tackle right there for you. Like I said, I'd start Banks and Orange. I mean, you got rid of so many people on that D line. You might as well see if you can get the value for what you're doing here, a third round starting. And then Caleb Tiernan, I like him for the fact of, especially with what they've been going on with Deersaw, they saw what they had. It was horrible, that left tackle. So if he keeps getting banged up, at least they have the guy to swing. Then maybe eventually take over for Brian O'Neill or whatever they have plans for him. Jacoby Thomas has a chance to start, especially with how shitty the safeties are. Brenson is probably moving to fucking fullback. There's no reason for him to stay at tight end. He definitely more of a blocker. Get some hard-nosed running going. So it's going to be a lot of Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, and then I think definitely Claiborne is probably going to be more of your third down guy. I don't think Xavier Scott is going to be able to fucking hold off. I don't care that he's a 5th round pick or a 6th round pick. I don't care. But my favorite one was definitely the Demings one. I liked him a lot. I don't care that it was, like you said, Stephen F. Austin. I don't really give a fuck about that, especially in the 5th round. I think if you had a 4th round, you should take him there, honestly, with the way the corners were shaping up. I really like it. It's sneaky good. You have Isaiah Rodgers, Brian Thomas Jr., and then whoever the hell you want to put in nickel at this point. He's tall. I forget how tall. I think he's like 6'1", something like that. I forget the total length. I think he's actually pretty tall.
Let's take a look.
He's 6'1". Yeah, I was right.
He is, yeah.
So you get the length. You get a normal size corner. You don't have to worry about. Yeah, I think Isaiah Rodgers like 5'9" or something. So maybe you'll bump him inside to give Deming some shot, and then whatever your 7th round pick. We'll see what the fuck happens with him. I don't hate it. I just think they could have done a couple things better, especially with your 1st round pick and Caleb Banks. I don't know if he's going to give you the production that you're looking for. I mean, I know you mainly want to get your pass rush from Van Ginkel and Dallas Turner, but it would be nice to have another guy who can maybe get off his block and rush the quarterback and get to him, before they actually do. So,
and I guess another reason why I rank them so low is whenever you have a team that is they have such huge question marks at quarterback. You go with the midget who should be playing baseball. JJ McCarthy, is he going to stay healthy? Is he your future guy? Like when you have a team like that, when you have a team that has such questions at quarterback, you either need a really good running game, great defense, or you need a lot of the good different things to happen all at once for you. And I didn't see that for them.
yeah, I mean that quarterback situation. I think a lot of people are already bringing it up that it's Kyler Murray's team. It's not the case. That's not the fucking case, especially Kyler Murray being on a 1-year deal. And he has said before he signed the deal that it's only a 1 year because he wants the opportunity to hit free agency after this. So he's probably going to try to ring in at least one of those Malik Willis contracts so you get paid $30 million a year to do fucking nothing the year before.
Yeah.
But both quarterbacks are going into it thinking they're the starter. This isn't one of those. It's not going to be a very friendly quarterback room. It's going to be very competitive. If JJ McCarthy can stay healthy, do we see those flashes that we saw last year? Or does he just keep getting banged up? Is he able to stay healthy this whole offseason and, the training camp and do the whole thing and get a full training camp in to be able to work on his mechanics more and set the throws and do everything he needs to do for an entire year? I think the upside there is if you can keep him healthy and he stays healthy. I think that's more upside than having Kyler Murray run around like a midget for a whole year. I think I know, I get it. Michigan cheating, didn't do well after they stopped. He has the size. He has the athleticism. The accuracy is there sometimes. I just think it's the fact of not getting the repetition and the consistency of reps that he needs to put it all together because he keeps getting hurt, whether it's on or off the field. I mean, for Jesus fucking Christ, I think he only played like 4 games in a row before he kept getting hurt last year. How are you going to get in a rhythm as a quarterback? And then he was hurt during training camp. If he stays healthy, this is an actual quarterback competition. If J.J. McCarthy gets hurt again, it's just Kyler Murray's team, and that's just fucking what it's going to be. So that's going to be interesting to cover as we go through all this whole offseason shit, too, in training camp. All right, and that brings us to the Kings of the North, the AFC North. Now, before we get into the AFC North, there's a little bit of breaking news as we're doing this. Devon Achane has agreed to a 4-year, $68 million contract with $32 million guaranteed. He has paid to die this year, so the man will get run into the ground because they can't do anything else. It is his funeral year.
No.
If he makes it all the way through the year, I will run around my house naked and I will film it, and then I will
do that anyway.
Well, I'll put a little sensory block. I will film an entire episode naked, standing way back, but I'll put a sensory block or wear one just for all the fans. Because there ain't no way in hell he's making out this season the entire. If he plays every single game, there's no fucking way. I'm stacking that fucking box. And you know what's going to happen? He's like, I got paid. I ain't got time for this shit. Ow, my hammy. Ow, my hammy,
oh,
my hammy.
Feels, my hammy feels like I have $32 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, shit.
Wow, I'm retiring. So, yeah, that just happened while we were filming this. So, all right, now that we're into the North, I'm pretty sure we're on to the Cleveland Steamers. Oh my God.
Cleveland Steamers, baby.
The top one in the AFC North. That's crazy, right? The first time they've
And
ever
what's
actually won
crazier,
anything.
right? What's crazier is the number one team and the number two team in the North have the same grade, and the number three team and the number four team have the same grade. But
Okay.
I had to rank them based off of other factors that went into it. So Cleveland ended up with a average of 3.45. They won the North,
Kind
third
of.
in the conference, and seventh overall.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Rain
They
Man,
didn't
get
lose.
into it.
They didn't lose a whole heck of a lot except for the on the O line. I'm pretty sure, other than the Jets, they lost the most O line,
Because they lost
which is what they focused on.
all five left for free agency. You can't lose any more starters than all five.
Well, no, you can't lose any more starters, but I'm pretty sure the Jets lost some depth as well. Um, but they did focus on it. Titus Howard, Kevin Jenkins, Zion Johnson, and Eldon Jenkins all signed in Cleveland this year, and then they addressed it in the draft.
Yep.
Besides their quarterback pick from last year, they've been on a little bit of a roll. Um, Spencer Fano, honestly, he can play every single spot except for center. That is naturally the hardest position. Not
I mean,
everyone
it
can
was
do it.
crazy because he was like, if they want me to snap, I'll snap. I'll figure it out. That's basically what he said in the
Yeah,
draft. He
exactly.
was like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
and reports are coming in that everybody, whether they had an official visit with him or if they just passed him in the hallway, everyone said this kid was nice. He was respectful. He treated everybody the same.
Yeah.
And with some of the history that Cleveland has had, especially recently, you kind of want one of those guys in the building. He got 5 stars for me out of that. Um, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Um, this next pick might be my worst liked pick in the draft over anybody. Casey Concepcion, wide receiver out of Texas A&M. You drafted a guy in the first round that had a 10.3 drop rate. 10.3. That's extremely high. It's not
Cleveland,
like
baby.
number two had a 9.2. That's extremely high. And he's, to me, he's another Isaiah Bond who, correct me if I'm wrong, he already plays for Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yes. So you drafted a guy who is a clone of another guy that you have, but that guy drops the ball a lot more than that guy. Okay, cool. Good job. Then they go ahead and they draft Denzel Boston in the second round. Why not just take Denzel Boston? Denzel Boston's going to start for you. He's honestly he's going to be their number one receiver in a couple of years. I mean, to me, that's just how it's going to be. I thought he was a first round talent. I don't know how he slipped to the second round, but he did, and he ended up in Cleveland. If they ever get a quarterback, he's probably going to be very good. Uh, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, he'll be a rotational piece this year, and then I think he'll be a starter in 27. I don't think. Well, no, I think I might change that. It's not going to change your score, but he'll probably be a starter for them. Just looking at the depth that they have
Yeah.
right now. And then they want O line with Austin Barber, who's a swing tackle, might be their future left tackle. Parker Brailsford, that I actually really like coming out of Alabama, fifth round pick. He could possibly see time this year, especially with the upheaval that they had on the O line. Justin Jefferson, not the talented one, but the one from Alabama who plays linebacker. He's going to be a special teams guy. Joe Royer, tight end out of Cincy. I guess he fits. I don't really. I don't know. Fannon's definitely their future, but I guess he's gonna replace Njoku. I don't know. That's a tall ask if you ask me. Taylon Green, if you keep him at quarterback, I don't like it. If you move him like a la Terrell Pryor, um, okay, he's very athletic. He's very tall. He's very fast. Um, can he do it? I guess time will tell. And then Carson Ryan, a tight end at BYU. I guess I just put a question mark because I don't know why you did that. I understand it's the seventh round, but it just feels like a throwaway pick. All in all, another good off season. They just keep stacking off seasons that I like in Cleveland.
Yeah, so maybe a little different view on the draft here, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Spencer Fano, home run. Great character, the exact guy you want. No, I don't think the NFL or anything will get to him just the way that he is. I think he'll be happy-go-lucky no matter what. Him and Caleb Lomu, those were the best combo you could have. Utah
Mm-hmm.
right there. Those fucking two guys, just those two big character guys, exactly what you want. I like KC Concepcion. I know he had that 10.3 drop rate. You say he's like Isaiah Bond. That's not a horrible thing because Isaiah Bond was a second round grade last year until he had all those legal issues, and here we go. But it gives you the opportunity to maybe even potentially just get rid of Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy is kind of like a head case. He's in that point of where, is the money worth it because he's not really producing that much. And he's kind of an asshole sometimes. So, Bond, Concepcion, Boston, you just start over with 3 young guys along with Fan and 2. You just basically have year 1 and 2 guys. Young room, but I don't hate it. Concepcion, I think, has a huge upside. I think they took him because they saw Lemon go, and then your next best guy that you're going to get slot wise and be able to move him go from inside to outside was Concepcion. Boston, I have no idea how he lasted till the second round. First round talent on him. Sometimes he was up there as is it Jordan Tyson or Boston at number 2? Well, he didn't go to the second round for whatever reason. It just could be because he was from fucking Washington. I don't know. Dude's 6'3". I mean, Jesus Christ. And then Emmanuel McNeil Warren, he was the second best safety until Din Thinman fucking went off at the combine. He's like, yeah, well, fuck you guys. I'm 1B. But Caleb Downs was 1, so he was number 2. Austin Barber, he'll end up playing right tackle if he has any shot at all because Fano's their left tackle, and he's not taking Fano's spot. They've already said that's their starting left tackle and Spencer Fano. They're not bumping him inside, nothing like that. So he's the left tackle of the future for him, trying to get some Joe Thomas type shit out of him, that'd be something to do. I really like Brainsford. I liked him. I mean, with the way things are going, I mean, they have Elton Jenkins right now as a starter. I see him at least being number 2. Jenkins has been playing banged up a couple times, so maybe he even gets a shot to play this year and shows why, we get a 5th round talent. Justin Jefferson, I mean, honestly, with the fucking linebackers they have, other than Schlesinger, Quincy Williams, whatever, he might actually get a chance to play this year too, to find another spot besides Schlesinger because you don't have Owusu Koromo. I can't pronounce his last name. He's done for the year already. He's on IR. Will he ever come back? I don't know. Hopefully he gets a chance to. If not, it is what it is. But he might have a chance to play this year too because it's just what they have at linebacker. And then other than that, I mean, it's just the last fucking 3 just suck. The Royer, don't get it. None against them, but you don't fucking need it. I know it's a 5th round, but Jesus Christ. Taylor Green can't throw the fucking ball. His mechanics are absolutely fucking horrible. They should be doing what the fucking Steelers are doing to Drew Aller, and that's just starting over. Starting over from the beginning, tearing everything down, and just fucking starting over with mechanics and footwork and just starting from the basics to be like, you have what we want, but we got to fix it a little bit, to really get to where we want it. And then another tight end, Carson Ryan. I mean, I know there are a little bit of throwaway picks at the end there. Taylor Green is kind of like gadget guy or whatever if you want. Could be interesting. People were like, oh my God, he's going to be like the second or third quarterback off the board after that combine. Well, he fell away to the 6th round, and he's lucky he went the 6th. He was 7th or undrafted for me, to be completely honest. Because for me, that's 6th, 7th. 7th is definitely like an undrafted guy that I want, but I want to make sure I get him. And, undrafted, so here we go. Don't hate it. And they potentially got 4, 5 starters out of the draft to pair along with your starting quarterback, Deshaun Watson. Calling it right here. Watson is going to be the starter. I just think Watson hated Stefanski.
You think Watson's going to start over Shador? That's racist.
It's so racist of me to think that Watson's gonna beat out Shador Sanders. It's gonna be Watson. Dylan Gabriel's gonna be cut, traded, or on the practice squad, and Green's gonna be your
Yeah.
third quarterback because they don't want to put him on the practice squad to get stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's gonna be your emergency QB, that they have now. Watson's gonna be the starter. I'm calling it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I know he hasn't played in a couple years, and it wasn't great when he was playing. I fucking honestly think it was Stefanski. I honestly do.
Okay.
Um, I think we're going to see a different Watson and having a quarterback behind him that everyone's like, oh, just play Shador. He's only 30 years old. Watson's only 30.
Yeah.
He's not that old, especially in QB years. He's not that old. He hasn't taken a hit in 2 years because of the Achilles. I think we're going to see a different Watson this year. So, speaking of the Stolers, they're up next.
They are. They too had an average of 3.45. Second in the conference. I'm sorry, second in the division. That's my fault.
Yeah.
Fifth in the conference and ninth overall.
All right, Rain Man.
All right. So they are another team that lost a bunch of dudes who are our age. They lost Chucky Clark, Johnu Smith, Adam Thielen. As much as we loved him, he's gone. Kenneth Gainwell's gone. So they lost a lot of pieces that they didn't really play huge to great roles for them. They did trade for Michael Pittman. Stop that. Cam Hayward. They re-signed Cam Hayward. They brought in Jamil Dean, Samuel, and Rico Dowdle. Their draft. It was okay-ish. I know that you and I are going to disagree on one of them to a point.
I already know which one it is. Well, we could either
Yeah.
get into it in the third round, or we could just wait till the end and let me get into it. So it's fine.
Yeah, we'll wait for that. Max Ianacher, whatever.
I have no idea.
I'm the Steelers. You have to know how old this dude is. Like, do we honestly know how old he is? I keep bringing up Miguel Tejada, but look at Miguel Tejada. Everyone thought they knew how old he was, and then years later, it comes out that he lied about his age. He was actually like 4 years older than he said he was. Like, it's just I don't know.
They're
I wouldn't
saying
even.
he's 22 years old.
Okay, I guess. I don't know.
That's what we're
The
saying
fact that
here.
people are like, the NFL makes $7 billion a year. You telling me you can't give someone $100,000 to do an investigation, get some like a birth certificate?
They said he came to
shit?
the U.S. when he was 13, and that's when he started playing football. So
Yeah, okay. Sure. He'll end up playing because the Steelers O line they like to get banged up for some reason.
a lot. Smash mouth football.
Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver out of Bama. I really like that. He's 6'1", 206 pounds. Between DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman and Bernard now, he's the only one that knows how to run a full route tree. And then the controversial pick, Drew Aller in the third round. I really think that he was definitely high for me. I think, to me, for the conversations you and I had, that went a little higher than you thought he was even going to, or how you thought his ceiling was. And you are 100% correct that if they can fix him and they can dumb things down for him to the point where you're starting at the base level and they're going to build him back up, and all of a sudden the physical tools are going to come out and he has the brains to go along with it. Now that he's getting properly coached, third round is a steal. But if they went ahead and took this dude in third round and he is who he is, whether it's James Franklin that ruins him or he peaked in high school, you just spent a third round pick on a quarterback. The year after, you drafted a rookie quarterback. So we'll get more into that. I'm not hating on it all that much. I gave it 3 stars because of his
It's 5.
potential.
5 stars. 5 stars.
No.
5 stars like his 5-star recruit he was. 5 stars.
Mm-hmm. Dalen Everett, corner at Georgia, he's a depth piece. He'll definitely be in the rotation with as bad as the fucking secondary has been Pittsburgh. One of my favorite guys, just a dude, another one off of that Iowa O line, Jennings Dunker. You can hate the mullet all you want. The dude is mean, nasty son of a bitch on the field, and that's what he's gonna push dudes into the dirt and laugh at you. Caden Wetson, I don't understand. Is he going to be a special teams kick
Yeah,
return guy?
that
I just
that's
don't think he
that's what he's
really
gonna
fit.
do. That's what he's gonna do.
Riley Nowakowski, just another depth tight end at Indiana. I guess I I had read somewhere, and it wasn't like a big thing, or it's not that it was in multiple reports or anything, but in my draft outings and just research, I had read that a couple insiders have reported that the Steelers are starting to come away from Darnell Washington. That the whole experiment at tight end was okay, but honestly, they're thinking about moving him to tackle.
Mm.
So that's interesting. Gabriel Rubio, defensive tackle out of Notre Dame. I guess he might just be a future nose guard. I don't know about that, but if you get your future nose guard in the sixth round, who's productive, then good for you. Robert Spears Jennings, safety out of Oklahoma, definitely just a special teams guy. And then Eli Heidenreich. Great story. It was a very nice moment. It was definitely a headline pick to the point where you did it for the good feels and publicity. Is he talented? Yes. Is he an NFL talent? No, I don't believe so. He'll carve out maybe a year or two. I don't see this kid contributing with what they have in the room. He's going to be a gadget guy. He's too small. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Seventh round, whatever, but I just don't see it. Everyone's like, "Oh, this kid's gonna be great. This kid's, he's gonna take over." I don't see it. I just, I
You just
is
said he was
he,
too small. He's like 5 pounds less
yeah,
than fucking Jeremiah Love. They're like the same
yeah.
size.
There's different builds though. He's definitely not built like Jeremiah.
They're
Jeremiah
the
Love is
same size.
they're the same weight, but if he's 215 pounds of muscle, that's compared to 215 pounds of whatever they do at Navy. There's a big difference.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. 6'1", 198. Jeremiah Love 6 feet, 212. So okay, so we're a little more than 5 pounds. But I don't see his size being an issue, if I'm being completely honest.
He also played, and I understand what you're going to say about Jeremiah Love, but he also played in the AAC. You're
Yeah,
not
I
playing North
will
Texas.
fucking
You're
Notre
not
Dame
playing
basically
Army.
fucking play D2. I mean, what do you want? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well,
Fucking pick
I
my
just
own
I just don't
schedule,
see
do
it.
what I want. I'm independent, but I want
It's
ACC money if they win anything.
I would like this pick more if they didn't draft Caden Wetson 3 rounds early, or Jeremy Bernard in the second round, or trade for Pittman.
So,
You tell me that they're going to put this guy at running back?
so no, I think he's gonna be more of your I should say H back, where he probably third down is probably his limitation until maybe they kind of warm him up there. He might be the successor to Jalen Warren third down because Jalen Warren's getting up there, and he's bigger than Jalen Warren, and if he can catch the ball, well then why aren't we just going to replace Jalen Warren instead of paying him more money and shit like that? Especially Jalen Warren being a little banged up. They got Warren, Dowdle, Caleb Johnson, whatever the fuck they're doing with him, and then
For real.
Eli now. But the first round pick, they say he's 22. I don't fucking know. If he's 22, awesome, great. You got a good guy there. If he's not 22, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You might as well just sign you or I, for Christ's sakes. Jeremy Bernard, I wasn't that high on him, if I'm being completely honest. Good size. That's about it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like drooling at the mouth in the second round after Boston just got taken fucking 8 picks earlier. It's like, well, I don't fucking know. We'll skip over Aller for right now. I'll come back to that one. And then you got Everett in the third. I like Everett. I thought he had a really good combine. I thought he had some good size. I think that's a great pick. Honestly, the third round was fucking amazing, and even including Aller. I don't give a shit. Dunker, the last pick of the 32nd pick of the third round, which is absolutely crazy because I thought he was going to go in the
Right.
second. Mullet man himself, great guy. Like I said, you can't go wrong getting a fucking offensive lineman from Iowa. Right fucking there. He's going to be nasty. He's going to be exactly what you want. I think he ends up taking someone's job at least. There's definitely going to be a competition there for one of those guards, and he's definitely taking
Mm-hmm.
it. I don't give a shit. He's fucking taking it. Now, the Wetchen, he is definitely going to be their special teams return guy because that's what he was a specialist at Iowa. He was their kick return, punt return. He did all the returning. He did all the special teams. He did everything there. Yeah, he played some receiver. People, they like him in open space. He's an open space guy. If you get him in like a screen or something like that, I don't see him running the entire route tree, especially not year one. But I see him kind of being a gadget. Get him some open space, maybe some RPOs, but he's definitely going to be that punt return, kick return guy. That's definitely where you're going to get the most of value from him. And being a fourth round pick, I mean, if you can get some RPO gadgets out of him and the return game, I don't see something completely wrong with it. Especially if you have an idea for him. You don't have to put Caleb Johnson back there. I think it'll be okay. Now, the Darnell Washington, he's not going anywhere because they're moving Riley to fullback. He's not playing tight end. Riley's going to be their fullback. Instead of having a tight end come and play fullback and do the whole thing they did last year, it didn't do great things for them. They're going to move Riley Nowakowski, I think Nowakowski from Indiana. He's 6'2". Yeah. He's small. He's be the smallest tight end on their entire roster. Yeah. So I heard he's getting moved to fullback, and that's the plan for him because he kind of did like all of it while he was at Indiana. And then, I mean, like the rest of the draft, besides Eli, I like the Eli one, like I said. I think he has a legitimate shot. It's great, hometown, here we go, blah, blah, blah. The Steelers do that a lot. They did it with James Conner, the whole thing. I think he has a shot, but it's more of an H-back than it is an actual running back. Yeah, especially with he did a lot of receiving at Navy. So, now the best pick of the entire draft in the third round is Drew Aller. So, they apparently really liked Carson Beck. They couldn't get Carson Beck. Carson Beck was off the board, obviously. Cardinals took him. Mm-hmm. So, they took Drew Aller. And Drew Aller is the only quarterback at their rookie camp. They didn't bring in another guy. No one else is there. It's just him. And Mike McCarthy is working with him one-on-one every fucking day. And he's going through like the drills that he had Aaron Rodgers doing back when they took him. Obviously, first round to third round, huge difference. Aaron Rodgers had a way better college career than, Drew Aller ended up having. But Drew Aller's college career really came crashing down after last year. I mean, last year they changed the entire offensive system. They had some new receivers in there, the whole thing. And here we are. He's in the third round rather than, this guy's a first round talent. Well, he got taken in the third round, which I think would be better because a lot of expectations aren't as high as they would be if he was a first round guy. Now, they like to call Mike McCarthy the quarterback whisperer, really do anything with any quarterback. Here we are, the guy can really work with quarterbacks. I mean, you saw what he did with Brett Favre, had a great career. Aaron Rodgers did great under Mike McCarthy. Dak Prescott really turned his numbers around and his career started going upwards wise when he started working with Mike McCarthy too. So I don't see that to be completely false. What they're doing with Drew Aller now is they're literally tearing him down to the fundamentals to work on his dropbacks and just work on the basics. They're basically like Penn State and James Franklin did you fucking nothing because they can't develop quarterbacks where it's shit. But you're young, you have a huge fucking arm, and you have the physical attributes that I would like. And that's why they took him, is because he has the attributes that Mike McCarthy wants. He just has to work with them. So, yeah, they took Will Howard last year. 6th round. Do you like Will Howard? Yeah, Then you're stuck with Mason Rudolph. In that entire quarterback room, I think Drew Aller has the highest upside. He definitely has the strongest arm in that room. Will he be able to put it together after finally getting some type of fucking coaching to be a quarterback? Like actually somebody giving a shit rather than being like, you're a 5-star recruit. You should be able to do anything I want. Like James Franklin. That's not how it fucking works. He's coming out of fucking high school, you fucking idiot. You gotta work with him. Jesus fuck. What are we doing? What are we doing? Also, fuck James Franklin. Anyways, good luck Virginia Tech, because your quarterbacks are gonna fucking suck no matter what goddamn grade they get.
Well, they were gonna suck no matter what. But
Jesus
I know
fuck,
what you're saying.
man. Good fucking luck. Anyways, there is a lot of potential with the pick. He's got a massive arm. People like to say, oh, he couldn't read defense. He couldn't make throws, blah, blah, blah. Every year, I don't watch college as close as I watch the NFL. I started watching it a lot closer now recently. Penn State games, I turn them on, when I have an opportunity. Saturdays, usually I'm running around with the little one or something now. But I don't know if you remember, it was like the third or second game of the season for Penn State, and I was like, I swear to God, Aller's arm got stronger because I saw him fucking just whip one in there, and I swear to God, that thing was going like 80 miles an hour. I was like, Jesus Christ! And it was just on a curl,
Yeah.
and the receiver had a hard time even catching it because like it was so hard, but he fit it right in between the defenders. I seen him make some really good throws, corner end zone, deep balls, kind of like that way. I saw him make some good reads sometimes. He's checking off his receivers, he's going down his progression, and then you have like some of the shit. Fuck, why did he throw that?
Yeah, I mean, because I remember you texted me about that, and you're right, he did really, really well against the Citadel. But he did end up throwing the game losing interceptions to Cinnamon. He didn't exactly help anything when he played against Ohio State, whether it was this year, last year, doesn't matter.
I'm not even putting that interception against Oregon in the playoffs on him. Because if you look at that fucking play, the whole play was designed for him to be thrown to that receiver because it was the only guy down the field. It was a motion.
Also, they ran that play 5 times.
Yeah. I don't know why you'd call that play in that situation. You don't even have that much field to even try to push a guy deep. The defense can play a little bit up more even if you are running this motion or whatever. Because you had the running back or receiver doing a motion. You had every other guy out in the flat looking at Aller to throw that ball that way. They weren't even looking for the ball. That was the entire play. The entire play was, this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to run this play for the 5th time. It's going to suck the entire defense up, and it's going to be wide open. And you know what it wasn't? It wasn't wide open. If that's your only read, what are you going to fucking do? You're a college quarterback, and you're trusting your goddamn shitty fucking offense coordinators and shitty play calling. What are you going to fucking do? I'm not putting that last play on him just for the fact of it was the only guy. That was it. It was the only fucking guy. No one else is even looking for the ball. No one else is even going. I think they have a huge potential there, and we'll see what happens with it. Aaron Rodgers apparently is getting on their last fucking nerve, so they're going to be with Rudolph, Howard, and Aller. Do I see Aller starting week 1? No. Do I see him starting week 8 to 9? Yes, because it's what the fuck's the point? We're already in the shitter. Mason Rudolph is brain dead after he got hit in the head with a helmet. Will Howard is going to be between Will Howard and Aller. It's going to be see how they do in the training camp and preseason between who's like number 2. You start the season with Rudolph, and then number 2 gets a shot, and then maybe number 3. You kind of just fall in that Brown situation, a quarterback fucking thing. But yeah, Drew Aller, QB1, calling it now. By year 3, when he's only 23 years old, he's going to be the QB1. He's the youngest quarterback in this fucking draft by like 2 years.
I think Higgins just said, if Drew Aller can't play in this league, he's going to retire, but he wants 9 years. I'm pretty sure that's what Higgins just said.
Anyways,
yeah,
we're on to the
the
butthole Ravens now. So
the godless Ravens. Yeah, they had a 3.25 average. Good for 11th in the conference, 20th overall.
Okay.
Let me get back to their.
They had a lot of picks.
So they did.
They had a lot of picks.
They had a shit ton of picks. They got a new coaching staff coming in. Longtime Harbaugh's gone, so a lot of the players that he had are gone. They lost Van Noy. They lost Daniel Fafalelli, Draymond Jones, Tyler Linderbaum, Isaiah Likely. They did trade for Trey Henderson, and then everybody else is just like kind of just filling in the roster. So I did enjoy that. They're definitely going to be able to rush the passer. The reason why they're so low is there's a lot of picks here that I I just don't understand for them if they're really, really just trying to reshape the base of the team, like the 35 to 53 guys at the bottom of the roster, while keep propping up the other guys to try and keep winning. I guess I don't know. We'll go through them. Their first round pick got 5 stars from me, Vega Ione. Super pick. Very consistent dude. He's a good dude. After Penn State got their ass whooped in Ohio last year, they're walking back through, and instead of having his head down during a difficult season, he did one of the most agile things I've seen somebody size do: hop the fucking cement barricade and help one of the staff dudes push a fucking cart up the ramp. Just you, like I said before, you need more dudes like that in the locker room. He'll get plugged right in. He'll dominate. Um, One of my favorite players of the year in this draft. I understand it's a good draft, but still, one of my favorite ones, Zion Young. I thought he was a first round guy. I think he's going to contribute early, and I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. He's not going to be the consistent 12 to 13 sack guy that everybody wants. He's going to get, 7, 8 sacks.
Yeah.
He's also going to play the run really well.
They don't need
And to me,
him
I'll
to
take
get
around
that amount of sacks anyways. They just need him to
exactly
get the 7 to 10, and like that's fine. Like they have a plethora of
100%.
fucking pass
Yeah.
rushers right now. So
Uh, then they're trying to reshape that offensive that wide receiver room. Um, I like their fourth round pick better than their third round pick, but still, Jacoby Lane, receiver out of USC, 6'4", runs a 4.47.
his hands are
Uh,
massive.
they're huge,
Yeah,
huge. And then
huge,
Elijah Surratt,
huge.
he's definitely going to be a part of their future. I like him a little bit better than Lane, but not so much that it's going to cause like put me in a tizzy that one was drafted ahead of the other. Matt Hibner, tight end at SMU. He'll probably end up taking Isaiah Likely's spot because Mark Andrews is still the guy for right now. Um,
Yeah.
Chandler Rivers at a corner at Duke is definitely a depth piece, maybe be a nickel guy. Josh Cuevas, another tight end at Alabama. I guess you need 3 tight ends in the NFL now.
I don't know.
He's just another body for me. Um, Adam Randall, running back at Clemson.
Huge,
He's a former. He is huge. He's a former
huge.
receiver turned running back. I don't know.
Dude,
I just had
6'3".
so. I don't like him as a prospect if he stays at running
They
back,
might
but I
just be trying
guess
to get another Derrick Henry type body in there, if I'm being completely honest, because he's 6'3", like fucking
maybe.
240 or something like that.
Um, I don't know. For somebody so big, he runs awful soft, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's
But then
6'3", 3/8, and 232. He ran a 4.5, so
mm,
it's not like horrible for his size though.
um, Ryan Eckley, they drafted a punter. I mean, it's a punter. I'm going to dock you for that.
Which is surprising.
Uh,
Don't they have Jordan Stout still as their punter?
as far as I know, they may have released him, but I didn't think he was bad. Not enough to
No,
draft the
no.
dude.
He was like one of the best punters.
Um,
That's weird. That's weird.
Rashawn Berry, defensive tackle out of Michigan. He's definitely a rotational developmental piece. And then Bernston, offensive guard at Northwestern, is going to be a depth piece as well. All in all, the very top with Ione and Zion Young, the receivers, I really like those building blocks for this team, especially the Ione pick. The rest is like, wow, they literally just took dudes to fill spots, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think the only Penn State guy who didn't get hurt this year was Ione. That's about it from this season that they have. Ione was the only one who didn't get hurt because he was just so dominant that here we go. And the character. He had a fucking great character.
Mm-hmm.
If he was a tackle, he might have been the top tackle taken. But he's a guard. And you don't take an interior offensive lineman in the top 10. So he's stuck being at the top of the
Positional value.
Positional value. If he was a left tackle, he probably would have been a top seven pick, something like that.
Yeah.
He would have been the top tackle taken off the board. You like Zion Young. I'm not a huge fan of Zion Young. I don't think it's a horrible pick in the second, though, especially what they have at pass rushers with Hendrickson, Mike Green from last year. They run a 3-4, so he's going to be more of a stand-up end, something like that, too. So he doesn't have to put his hand in the dirt all that much. Lane, I liked Lane more than I liked Lemon, if I'm being honest. I think he was better natural receiver, especially with the giant hands he has. Like basically they're like glue. And then Surratt,
Mhm.
I liked him more than I like Cooper Jr. I thought he was the better Indiana receiver. Um,
Mhm.
so fourth round right there. And then after that, I mean Rivers isn't bad. Picking anyone on defense, honestly anyone on this fucking team except for receiver, and that the offensive lineman they took, you're really just gonna be playing rotation or backup. They basically have everyone back
Yeah.
again too. They're just kind of like the
Mhm.
Lions where they just loaded up with guys that wanted to stay here in free agency and then just fill in every other spot because they have their entire defense back with still Wiggins, Hamilton, Starks who've balled out, Awuzie, Humphreys, and then Jesus Christ, man. I mean, they just adding to it with Hendrickson after they fuck the Raiders on their fucking trade. Um, but they had to load up a wide receiver now because Lamar Jackson is not running the ball as much. So you need to have actual wide receivers. And Zay Flowers is more of a 2 than he is a 1 for me. Bateman is your 3 or 4. I don't see him being a 2. Then you have Walker. And that was it. I rounded that out for your receivers, and you're kind of not doing great. Mark Andrews is on his way out with his receiving. He's not much of a threat anymore, dropping easy balls and shit. So you had to load up that receiving crew. I think it's 2 good guys to load it up with. Uh, Try to keep Zay Flowers in the slot then, the best that you can, especially with him being his size and his ability in the open space. Um, but I mean, really, the only guy who's going to make a huge impact here is Ione right from day one, and then everyone else is just going to make their impact where they'll allow them. Which the receivers might make a bigger impact than you think because Lamar Jackson isn't running as much as he used to. He doesn't look like he wants to run. He's not really trying to run. So I mean, they're gonna have to pass it. So there we go. And that brings us to our last team of the North, the losers of the North, the Cincinnati Bungholes.
Cincinnati's going to Cincinnati. Um, they too were at 3.25.
Which is surprising for
They
me.
were 12th in the conference and 21st in the NFL.
Okay.
Um, they lost Troy Hendrickson. They lost Cam Taylor Britt. Noah Fant. They did bring in Boy Amafe and Dalton Reiser. Um, my big issue with them is that they are always a year away from being a year away. They took a dude in the first round who couldn't rush the passer and now is probably going to be relegated to the bench. I mean that's the type of team that we're going over right now. And the other part was I thought they needed to do more to protect Joe Burrow because they did lose Jake Browning, who was a long time backup there. You lose Joe Burrow now, you don't even have him to
You got
lean
Joe
on.
Flacco.
So
Hey, he balled out. He did not give a fuck. He was like, Jace is down there somewhere. I'm 41 years old. I don't give a fuck. I'm
that's
not even
true.
meant to be a
That's
starter
true.
anymore. Fuck you guys.
So let's see what they did draft.
Beer league,
They didn't have
baby.
they didn't have a first round pick, but they did go with Cassius Howell at the end out of Texas A&M. This dude can actually rush the passer, so congratulations,
Yeah.
Cincinnati got one.
Does
But
it
if you're really
is it was it
expecting,
him who had short arms too? He was the other short arm guy?
he was another T Rex guy. He was another yeah. Um, Somebody that actually was not a short arms guy and actually really big. Takario Davis,
Oh
corner out of
no.
Washington. To me he's underrated. He's 6'3", 194 pounds. He can be a future starter for them. Now, whether or not it's in at corner or at safety, I guess to me that's still a
Well,
little up
they
in the
have
air.
Jordan Battle and Brian Cook at safety. And Kyle
Right.
Duggar's a backup.
Yeah.
I think he ends up taking a corner spot, if I'm being honest.
Right. But so as what I meant as far as like the future, yeah, he's going to be a corner this year. But as these guys age, as he ages, as he gains weight, I mean, he adds 5 pounds. All of a sudden, he's a 6'3", 200 some pound safety who would be quick for a safety.
I'd rather keep a 6'3"
Um,
corner. be honest.
I mean, I would too, but it's Cincinnati that we're talking about
Or
here.
put it, or do have him do that. What Seattle does. Put him in the nickel. Put him in the slot a lot.
Mhm.
Kind of do that.
So they finally addressed the O line on day 3 of the draft.
Yeah.
They did get Connor Liu, the center guard out of Auburn. He needs to add strength. I'm pretty sure he had one of the lower bench press recordings in the draft. He might actually start. That's how bad their O line is. Colby Young, wide receiver out of Georgia. I
He
guess
had
he'll just.
31.
I'm pretty sure he was one of the lower ones though, wasn't he?
31 on the bench.
I mean, that's good for you and me, but I don't know. Um,
31? That's pretty fucking good. Uh,
eh,
well, 31 at 250 or 225. You kidding me?
it's all right.
Oh my god.
Colby Young out of Georgia, okay, I guess. I don't really see him getting too much playing time between Higgins, Chase, Icy Boss. Did you see him coming out and say he's pissed off and he's focused this year?
Yeah, because
Because
they
he's
were
getting all
telling him
these death
to
threats.
off himself.
Yeah, yeah. Good job, Cincinnati. Keep it classy.
Yeah.
Um, Brian Parker, the second, he's a center guard. He can really play anywhere on the interior. I mean, they may have just drafted, 40% of their future starting O line, but they're day 3 picks, so we'll see. Jack Endries, the tight end out of Texas, he could potentially contribute. Their tight end group is not great, and honestly, when I watched this guy, he reminded me a lot of Jason Witten.
Hmm. That's a good
But
guy to
we'll
remind
see.
someone of.
And then Landon Robinson, the D tackle out of Navy, just going to be a depth piece. Overall, they came in last, but it's not to me it's not a huge margin between finishing first and finishing last. It's literally 0.20 points. Um, it's just I wish they would have addressed the O line because they've had issues with it. They've had issues keeping Joe Burrow healthy, and they didn't address it at all until day 3. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they addressed the offensive line a lot better, but they did get the guy who was the third best in the bench press, and Connor Liu. Congratulations, you were wrong on that one. 31 was third best.
I,
You know who the top two guys
I,
were?
I must. Do I know who the top 2? No.
Yeah, it was Trey Zune and then Blake Miller. Speaking of other
Okay.
guys who did it, who we got here? We got where
Where's
is he?
Brian Parker the second?
He came
I may
in.
have I may have confused it.
He came in at 29.
Okay.
But you have two first round talents, Proctor and Ihorka or whatever, at 25.
Okay.
They're 6 less than Connor Liu if you're just looking at straight bench press strength.
Yeah,
So
I mean, to me, I want my interior guys to be stronger than my exterior guys. Exterior, to me, I want them
well,
more
he
quicker
was
than
yeah, but
than
he was
anything.
the third best out of everyone who
Yeah.
did it.
No, I was wrong on that. I must have gotten him confused with somebody else.
I mean, I don't hate it, especially with this offensive line. Uh, Parker and Lou might get a chance to fucking start this year because of how bad this offensive line's been. And there's no reason not to give him a shot because your offensive line has sucked. Other than your left tackle and Orlando Brown Jr., if he can stay healthy, your offensive line is just a fucking toss up. And your biggest thing is you got to keep Burrow safe. But the reason why they didn't have a first round pick is because they beefed up that D line, which is something they haven't done in a while. So now you're headlined with Boy Mafe, who they signed a big contract with, Stewart behind him, Dexter Lawrence,
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Allen, Miles Murphy, and Cassius Howell. That's a D line I build in like Madden. All right. Yeah, Jonathan. Well, probably not Madden because Allen's a little older. I probably wouldn't sign him or anything. I want some youth and do that. But I mean, overall wise, I mean that's a good fucking start. Finally get some
Mm-hmm.
defense, get some pressure, stop the run. Cassius Howell come in for pass rushing. I'm not sure what Stewart does because he can't rush the passer and it kind of sucks against the run. But you know what? That's your first round talent who held out for forever. So maybe not holding out this year will fucking help him actually be useful. Takaro Davis, I want to keep him at corner as much as possible. Maybe the nickel. I don't want
Yeah.
to put him at safety. I think his length, his size, his ability to play the pass and run, I think keep him kind of right there. I don't want to put him at safety. I like him to shut down, taller receivers. You do have Dax Hill and DJ Turner. They're both faster, but Davis will give you some physicality with it. Lou, I think, has a chance to start. Parker probably has a chance to start. I like Colby Young. He was one of my gem guys, if I'm being completely honest. He was one of my secret boys. Just for the size, the speed, played at Georgia, so he's used to the competition, SEC. He doesn't have to be amazing because he has Chase and he has Higgins right there. He could be your third or fourth option, and honestly, that's not horrible because I mean, Sova, I can't. How do you pronounce it?
Isovas.
Yeah, Isovas.
Yeah.
He was very inconsistent last year, and then with letting fans get in his head, telling him what they told him, which you shouldn't fucking do. Don't fucking do that. That's fucked up. As mad as you are, don't fucking do that. That's really fucked up. If you allow fans and stuff like that to get in your head like that, it's not gonna help you per se. Obviously it didn't. Kobe Young, I'm pretty sure he's like 6'3", isn't he? Oh, he's 6'4", 6'4" and 3/4, and he runs a 4.49. That's pretty fucking good. That was fucking pretty good for me. I mean, you basically have a faster T. Higgins, which is not a horrible thing to have. And then I didn't see too much of Andreas for the tight end, but I mean you have Gasecki who can't run block, so that's kind of like his thing. Drew Sample and then Eric All. It's not a strong tight end room. If you find a guy that can do it all, if you get that Jason Witten type and you get him in the fucking 7th round, I don't see why not. And then Landon Robinson, I like. And I think he only went in the 7th because he was from Navy. And he's only 6 feet tall. But the production that he gave, the numbers that he put at the combine, everything like that, I think were justified in being, taken in the draft. I would probably looking at like 5th, 6th, 7th. I feel like you got a little bit of him there. Top of the 7th. I think just the size and Navy is what took him off some boards and maybe made him fall to the 7th. But they might have got a sneaky guy there. I mean, the guys they have ahead of him are Slayton Jr., BJ Hill, McKinley Jackson, and Chris Jenkins Jr. But I mean, with him being 6 feet, you could also put him on an end. Kind of just be a jack of all trades. Maybe get him in there just for pass rushing situations because he'll give you a little more ability to do that. Then you get big boy Jonathan Allen or Dexter Lawrence out there. Maybe get like a speed package or something. But he has a chance to make the team. Will he make the team? I don't know. I think the size is going to hurt him a little more than he probably would like. I like the draft a little more. I liked a couple of these drafts more than you did. The hell, Rain, man. God, my nose is so itchy tonight. The hell. I mean, you got to remember too. If you're listening to who we think have better drafts, and what we think of each one, you got to remember. I won the draft competition, so what I think actually matters more. So.
You also have to remember that this isn't just my formula. Isn't just draft; it's their entire off season.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. I won.
But you know what do you know what the ultimate point of all of this is?
What?
We're both better than Mel Kiper.
We were both better than Mel Kiper and Dan Orlovsky. You both can get fucked. Yeah. And believe it or not, we're better than James Franklin. Fuck that fucking bald bitch. Anyways,
I love you, James Franklin.
Fuck you. Ohio State piece of shit. Anyways, do you have anything for our Dorian fans before we leave? Because we are done. Congratulations, you made it this far. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. But we are
no, just yeah. Thank you for continuing to support and or love to hate us, whatever you do. Next week we are going to take a break from the off-season grades because tomorrow the NFL is going to be releasing the full schedule. So I don't know how we're going to do this just yet. If we're just going to give our favorite games, if we're going to give like our top 5 games we're looking forward to. I don't know how that works. We haven't really worked that out, but we will be going over the schedule after that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out on Tuesday night, the day before we record. You have 24 hours to figure it out.
Yeah, I'll send Higgins a text. Hey, what do you want to cover tonight? Schedule. Okay, good. We'll get that. We'll get that. That's pretty much how it goes.
actually,
That's our
actually,
production
usually
meeting.
goes like he'll go like, "Hey, what do you want to cover tonight?" Like, whatever you want. Fuck it.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yep. So then in 2 weeks we'll pick back up and we'll finish the back half of the. We'll finish the South, and then after that we'll do the West, and then I believe you and I talked about taking a few weeks off because by the time we finish with the West, we're only like 2 or 3 weeks out from training camp actually opening. So
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe take a couple weeks off, or maybe just every other week, or whatever it might be. You know, if we just want to talk
uh,
about something going on or anything like that. Maybe a lot shorter episodes because these ones are a little long, but that's fine. You guys love us, you guys hate us, and we're beautiful. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. If you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, hit that share button, hit that like button, hit it all. Boom, 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 baby. Like Lope said, we will be back again next week with another episode of Up to Gut when we go over the schedule. We love you guys so much. And bye.